Hello, everybody. It's the Film Optimist. Kind of a pessimistic, sad day because we are doing the top 10 MCU deaths. Um, deaths in the MCU. Um, there are a lot of deaths. There's a lot of death in this Disney franchise. Um, a lot of deaths that make you go, no. My mom is always that type of person. No, I liked him or her. Oh no, and in a superhero film, it's really like devastating. Um, but with a series that's so full of like death, like how do we rank these? Do we rank them based on sadness? Based on it's all over the place. I just made it. Um, yeah, number 10 is Gamora. So I was struggling to find one last death to put on here. Um, and her death is very sad and significant. The Gamora we have now is not the Gamora that died before. The Gamora that was in love with Star Lord that we only got for a couple movies. So, technically speaking, it's the same Gamora, but the other Gamora is a younger Gamora from a different time. The Gamora that we had, it's really sad to see that she was used by her father and her father Thanos. Thanos. Thanos didn't want to. Um, he really didn't want to do it. He didn't want to. What did it cost? Everything. Such amazing films, dude. I can understand why people don't like the new phases so much because that Thanos saga was so good. Um, but yeah, I had to put Gamora down because she does come back in a different form, different version of herself. Like I wasn't gonna put her on the list, but another person honorable mention goes to Loki, who has died so many times, and then when we actually see him die, it's brutal. Um, Number 9 is Quicksilver. Oh yeah, by the way, spoiler alert, obviously. Um, I knew that something happened to Quicksilver. I was pretty sure of it. Um, and I thought it was funny when I first heard about it because I was not pumped for Avengers: Age of Ultron when it came out, and then hearing like mixed reviews about it years later. Well, then we finally watched it. I'm like, this movie is dope. What are people talking about? And meeting Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, I was like, these are great characters. Great characters. Very wonderful versions of these characters. Um, Alternate versions that are separate from the X Men because they are like X Men characters. Um, which is so weird to think about. But I was like, there's nobody that can beat the Quicksilver from the Fox films. And this dude really surprised me. And then when he gets, it's a Jesus, so loud. Um, when he gets gunned down, it's really stupid because he's one of the fastest people alive. Um, it's a dumb death, but it's sad too. It's really dumb. Um, Number 7. I think this isn't a good. Yeah, this isn't a good. Mm, yeah, I just skipped number 8. That's how. Yeah, I'm gonna change this up real quick. Mm, yeah, okay. This feels right. It still looks wrong, but it feels right. Number 8's the Illuminati. Um, what are we talking about here? The Illuminati. How's that a sad death? They're evil people, right? Well, the Illuminati, for those that don't know, in comic book lore, is a group of people that are pretty fucking conspiracy driven, evil. In Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which has a lot of mixed reviews, I just put these all together. Scarlet Witch takes out the entire Illuminati, um, in one of the best scenes in MCU history, in my opinion. Let's go down the list. Black Bolt, his mouth is removed by Scarlet Witch, resulting in head implosion from Sonic Scream because he started panicking. Super like, oh my god, like just bloody and gory. Mr. Fantastic is stretched and shredded by Scarlet Witch. It's crazy to see. Captain Carter is bisected with her own shield by Scarlet Witch. What the hell? Captain Marvel is crushed by a falling statue by Scarlet Witch. And then Professor X has his neck stabbed in what might possibly be the last time we ever see Professor X. These are all, of course, different versions of the characters that we will eventually see. Mr. Fantastic is going to be played by God, what is his name? Why can't I remember his name? I love him so much. Last of Us. Pedro Pascal. He was not played by Pedro Pascal here. He's played by what is it, John Krasinski? He did a wonderful job. I think I would love to see more of that version as well. But that version died. Well, you can do it's a multiverse, dude. I'm glad that they brought back I think Anson Mount to play Black Bolt. He was in a TV show as well. Yeah, played by Anson Mount. He was also in the Inhumans TV show. They gave him a costume for this one. Captain Carter is Peggy Carter. She's like Captain Britain, basically. Played by, what is her name? Haley Atwell. Really sad to see her die a couple times. Shout out to Peggy Carter, just the normal Peggy Carter that we see in Agent of Carter and Captain America series. Captain Marvel, this Captain Marvel is Maria Rambeau. She's played by Lashana Lynch. She was in the original Captain Marvel movie and in the Marvels. Shout out to her as well. I think she gets cancer and dies. She gets a disease that could. There's a lot of cancer in this series. There's a lot of cancer in real life, so it makes sense. But the Illuminati, it's sad, but it's also dope to see all these characters go down. Number 7 is Jane Foster. This one hits close to home. I just talked about cancer. We lost my aunt. I talked about her a couple times. My aunt Christy, stage 4 carcinoma, and it just blew all of us away. And I believe it was the same. It still doesn't feel real. I believe it was the same year. It was either no. When did Thor: Love and Thunder come out? After Black Panther or before? Thor: Love and Thunder came out before. Thor: Love and Thunder came out. Was it 2021? 2020? 2022? Wait a minute. Was that? Yeah, that's when she passed. Jesus. Yeah. So this came out July 8, 2022. She had only passed what? A couple months before that. And I remember watching this film without my mom. I watched this film when it dropped on Disney Plus. And when they had the whole cancer thing, I was like, oh no, I don't think my mom's gonna be okay with this one. Um, Jane Foster has been in the series since Thor. She took a break for a little bit. They brought her back to have this story. Jane Foster, the mighty Thor, the female Thor. Everyone had rumors like, oh, they're going woke, or they're gonna have the female take over from the male. Oh, blah blah blah. Now she got cancer, bro, and she becomes the mighty Thor. Yay to cure her illness, but plot twist, that's not gonna cure cancer. She's still sick. She's still dying. She looks very healthy. She looks very strong. She is very strong. She is healthier a little bit, but it's kind of just like chemo, like an advanced chemo, basically. She's still dying. It's stage 4. She's done, and they're trying to do anything that they can to save her. And in the end, Thor saves this little girl. Love instead chooses to save Gore the God Butcher's daughter instead of Jane. Gore the God Butcher's daughter, Love. So yeah, it just hit close to home for me. That's why it's so high up. It's the cancer aspect. Fuck cancer. Number 6 is Eric Killmonger. Now, this character, I really wish he hadn't have died. I think a lot of people were in agreement that this is kind of a villain that was justified. A little bit radicalized. He was dope. The speeches that he had. What was his last words? I should have had this pulled up. Bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships because they knew death was better than bondage. God, like such a great line. It brings this high up for me because he was just such a great character, and it's so sad that we won't get him again. When we saw Wakanda Forever, when she goes to the realm, Shuri, when she goes to the spirit realm or whatever to get her Black Panther powers, she sees him. You think she's gonna see her mom? Maybe you'll see some kind of weird way how they somehow get Chadwick Boseman back as Black Panther to have this talk as T'Challa, but no, we get Killmonger, and I was like, oh my god, what up, cuz? It's such a, I love him so much. I love Michael B. Jordan, dude's dope. Number 5, smack dab in the middle of this list, is the Snap. We get the Snap, guys. Let's go. Snap is a big one. Snap probably should be higher. This was crazy. Even though we all knew that this wasn't the end of these characters, it couldn't be. There's no way. A lot of people. It's still shocking. It's still shocking watching it now. Like, wow. Vision. R.I.P. to Vision. Shout out to him. We talked about Loki already. Heimdall is another big one. We already talked about Gamora. Lots of death in this movie. Yeah, Vision. Shout out to Vision. Right after Vision dies twice, we get here's the Snap in order. Winter Soldier is the first one. That's like, what the fuck is going on here? Black Panther, he reaches down. This is no place to die. Just, oh my god. Groot, super sad, because he's like teenage Groot at this point, or little kid Groot. I don't think he's teenage Groot yet. Scarlet Witch, people are like very just like, she's had so much loss, like, fuck. Falcon is pretty, like, holy shit, because he disappears and then in the background is Rhodey, War Machine. He's calling for him, like, Sam, Sam. Um, Mantis, she senses something is wrong. She disappears. Drax is like, Quill, and he disappears. Star Lord, motherfucker, or oh shit, I forgot what he says. That's a fucking Nick Fury. Um, then we get Doctor Strange. He's like, this is the only way. And then fucking Mr. Stark. Oh, I love Spider Man so much. So hearing that and then seeing that and then seeing like the reaction videos, like, no, 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 no. That's so, like, it still gives me chills. Like the fact that Peter with his spider sense could feel it coming and know something was wrong and not be able to do anything about it. And he's still just a kid. He's in high school. So, um, it's crazy. We also have, by extension, Maria Hill in um, the after post credit sequence. Then Nick Fury, motherfucker, he goes away. In Ant Man and the Wasp, we have Hank Pym, Janet Van Dyne, and the Wasp all turned to dust. He's like in the quantum realm. They're like doing experiments, and then he's like, "Hey, you can let me out now." It's like, Hank, Janet, like, "Hey, are you there?" And then it cuts to them all like clouds of dust. Whoo! It's like, fuck, man. Um, we don't get any of that in the next one. In Avengers Endgame, we see Lila Barton, Laura Barton, Cooper Barton, Nathaniel Barton, all of Hawkeye, Clint Barton's family, which brings him down the dark path to be Ronin. Really, really, really sad. Also, shout out to Black Widow. I think that her death is sad, but it's like then they give her her own movie, and it's like it's just too little, too late for me. It is sad that she fought. Her and Hawkeye are fighting to like sacrifice themselves. Um, Shout out to Thanos too, by the way. We also get. I think Yelena was one of them too, wasn't she? In the TV show. Let me just go to. Why am I doing all this? Go back. Thanos is. Let's just go to Snap. It's also known in the universe as the Blip. Um, Victims. Wow, I did not expect this. Whoa, I'm about to read all that shit. What the hell? Okay, let me just. Yelena is one of them too in the TV show. I'm not gonna count the TV show ones. I haven't seen any of the TV shows. Any of the series is. Um, oh yeah, Thanos is snapped too. He's turned to dust. Um, Technically speaking, you don't get any of that. Spider-Man: No Way Home, I guess, shows. Go back. Oh my god. No. This damn site. Betty Brant and Jason Ionello. I had never seen that. I'm gonna have to watch that video. But they're like doing a live, like, school report when they get snapped away. I don't remember any of these getting snapped. Don't remember any of them. No snappage here. Like, it's still talking about the snap even years and years later. Yeah. I could do it this way too. Monica Rambeau was turned to dust by Thanos' snap, later resurrected. Then she died from cancer. Oh, they say that in WandaVision. That's crazy. Oh, that's different. That's from What If. Yelena Belova turned to dust by Thanos' snap, later resurrected. Um, okay. So that's the snap. That's all it took. That's all it took. Um, and then we have number 4 is May Parker. Like I said, I love Spider Man. So with great power comes great responsibility. Is a big deal for me. Uncle Ben is so important. Aunt May being the MCU Uncle Ben, and it's like people were saying and speculating, and like the leaks came out and everything was tough, but we didn't really think this. We didn't really believe this, and it happened. And it is so fucking sad. Just her being like, with great power comes great responsibility, and then her collapsing, and you're like, oh no. She's like, Peter, what's wrong? What's wrong, Peter? What's going on? Like, no, she's trying to like comfort him, and then like you find out like, oh no, she's got like a fucking like hole in the back of her head. She's like bleeding and shit. It's like in her back. It's like, oh no. Um, really sad and depressing. Green Goblin went Goblin mode, dude. Um, yeah, R.I.P. May. Uh, Number three. This might be cancer related too. We never know. It's an undisclosed illness. This one hit me hard because of my aunt Christy, and she was a huge MCU fan as well because of her husband Jason. Love you, Jason. Number three is T'Challa, Black Panther. Wakanda Forever. He dies off screen, but it's so that movie is like in memoriam. This is a film that's greatly about him. Some people say it's exploitative. I wouldn't go that far. What else were they supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like recast them. Why? Like pay pay tribute to the man Chadwick Boseman. Now, if you want to continue to go towards that recast T'Challa thing, you can. The multiverse exists, right? We can do a different version. Absolutely. Someone we talked about. I didn't talk about this before, but I've said it before. People were joking about the whole like race swapping of characters and it's woke. They made a joke about Ryan Gosling playing him, and I was like, I'd be down. He could be a South African Black Panther, or he could just be from a universe where a white dude is Black Panther. Who cares? I would not care. I wouldn't care in the slightest. Um, do whatever you want to do. Make it make sense, and I'm down for it. Um, but yeah, T'Challa, rest in peace. Oh. Number two is Rocket Raccoon's friends from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That's just a sad movie all the way around. Just super depressing. What's her name? Lila or Lila? Lila? Teefs and Floor. Um, they're all characters that aren't as smart as Rocket. Rocket is learning much more, a lot faster than they are. I don't think they even knew, like when they got killed, except maybe I think Lila. Is that her name? Is that how you say it? She's a she's an otter. It's really sad, really depressing. That whole movie had me just struggling. Um, R.I.P. Rocket as well for a little bit. He legally died for a little bit. Um, and number one is I Am Iron Man. It's Tony Stark. The MCU started with him, and a lot of people think it ended with him. Um, I don't know about all that. And also, they've made. There's been a lot of rumors of them trying to get him back because of like damage control and stuff. Um, but that's it. That's the list. Um, I'm posting it to Facebook right now. Um, what was your saddest deaths? You know, what were the funniest deaths? How would you rank your deaths? Tell me. Tell me. You guys have a good one and take care.